I'm good, y'all. I gotta record, man. I just gotta record right now. You know, I was met with some negativity. I gotta fight it with positivity, man. You know, gotta fight it with positivity and productivity. Maybe I should switch it up today. So I am a Bible man, but I also I was actually given this book. It's called Power Through Metaphysics, and yeah, I don't know what the I don't know why I picked this book up to talk about, but you know what? I'll say that for another time. Now, should I? I wanna touch base on it. I just don't know how. So basically, this book is a book to reprogram your thinking, right? Okay, I got you. I got y'all right now. It's a book that reprograms your thinking, your state of mind, the way you see things. It's like the human body is its own technology, and I would say that free will is the source, not the source, but free will is the magic wand that we have. But it's like as advanced and as complex as we are, a lot of us don't understand how powerful we actually are. Like even when we speak of like the power of life and death being in the tongue, like a lot of us don't really understand like how powerful that is. Even when it comes to like how powerful the energy of love is, you know. Like, have you ever seen Star Wars? Like me, I'm the type of person just pay attention to everything in life. And when I got older, when I was younger, Star Wars was just a cool movie about, good and bad people who had lightsabers. And now that I'm older, Star Wars is a movie that really seems spiritual to me, like good and bad, heaven and hell, negative and positive, you know. And so we're gonna this video is gonna be about the words that we speak out into the existence. So I got this chapter open. I didn't know what I was going to talk about in this book. I didn't know what to touch base on. But this book is called Power Through Metaphysics by Connie Mendez. Now, this book was given to me. I'm spoiled by God. I have a great relationship with God. So my life is kind of like a movie when it comes to these things. This is not a book that I went searching for. This is a book that found me, if anything. I was ready for a certain change in my life. And like in this book, there's a certain saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Right? So in this book, every chapter is a chapter speaking of ways of how we're supposed to live, how we're supposed to think. And don't think of it in a black and white sense, but think of it in the sense of like a self-realization of your power that you share with God, of the privileges that God has given us as beings that are made in his image and his likeness. Right? So I'll just use this. This isn't the first chapter. The first chapter of this book is called Dynamic Christianity. But when you think of this book, we got the Bible, and then we got a book like this, right? And so the Bible is full of parables and lessons, and when you're reading it, whenever you're reading it, it's always gonna correlate itself to your life in some way, shape, or form. And then we have books like this that I'm not gonna say it completely breaks the Bible down. That's not what it does, but it breaks down metaphysics. It breaks down sayings in the Bible and teachings that God taught that aren't displayed in the Bible in its simplest form. Like a lot of things in the Bible have to be decoded, and this book is like the the decoded the decoded discoveries that have been made in the Bible. So this first chapter is called The Decree, and I'm gonna read just a little bit of it, and then we're gonna touch base on it. So it says, every spoken word is a decree which is outwardly manifested. The word is a spoken thought, and we have already learned of the power of thought. There are two sayings of Jesus that has not been studied closely enough. One of these is, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Meaning, if you speak good things into the world, good things come of that. If you speak bad things into the world, if you speak death, negativity, negative outcomes into the world, it's gonna come. So it says, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. And then it says, most have interpreted this as meaning that others will judge us by what we say and write. No. Though this is true, it is not the full meaning of Christ's own words. Jesus taught the truth of metaphysics at a time when the majority of the human race was not sufficiently mature enough to understand it. He was aware of this, and a number of times he said that there was much that he had to say, but that we would not be able to understand. But there will always be a few, which were the disciples, who understood and would instruct the power of the words and would instruct others. Who hath ears, let him hear. Who hath eyes, let him see. The second reference he made to the power of words was this: not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. In this response to a trivial question about dietary law lies a great metaphysical truth in all its explicit beauty. And I'm going to leave it right there. Go get the book if you want to go further. But basically, it speaks of how important it is to be mindful of all the things that you say, to be mindful of how you speak of others. Now, granted, there are times where Like, for instance, when you're speaking the truth, sometimes the truth is bad, but like when it comes to, it says decree. So to decree is to declare. To declare is to make, to declare is to make a statement on something. So like your mind doesn't believe in jokes. Your mind doesn't believe in JKs. Your mind doesn't believe in, I said this, but I don't really mean this by myself. Like, you shouldn't talk about yourself badly ever. You know, um, you could speak decrees over everything. Your words are like spells. You know, it's like forming the atmosphere through the tongue. Like, even the tongue itself. Like, your tongue is weird, bro. That thing, a tongue is not normal. You think your tongue is just for tasting stuff? No, your tongue, your voice, the sound of your voice, the emotion your voice carries when you speak, all those things are magic forming. It's magical. You are magical. Like, we are intricate. Like, we are advanced. We are complex creatures. Like, we are not just physical. We're not just the body. No, there's something in here driving us. There's something in here speaking through us. This is just a shell. Like, these are just features of the real thing. This is just the thing that we need to navigate, to be able to sit in chairs and sit down. This is like just the thing that we need to navigate being in this world. But the decree is so powerful. God said, let there be light, and it was light. Right? People say anything all the time. Like, even for my people that's overweight, saying stuff like, I'm a fat nigga, like, I'm this. I'm saying it just to make the example, but my mom knows I'm not saying this with no intention that makes me believe that I'm these things, because I'm an in shape nigga. I'm a sexually attractive man. You feel me? Like, I'm those things. But saying bad things about yourself, like, I'm stupid, or saying things like, I won't ever be able to do such and such, or, you know what I'm saying? Just things like that. Those are literally spells that you cast over yourself and over your own life. Like, and that's why I don't even go out of my way to speak bad over another, because even when you go out of your way to speak bad over another, in some way, shape, or form, yeah, you cast in bad spells over their life, but what you do to another is ultimately what you do to yourself. So, like, while you think you speaking bad over them, you really speaking bad over your own life. Like, never pray anything bad on somebody else, because it's just gonna come back to you. Okay, it's just gonna come back to you. So, my people, be mindful of what y'all say. Be mindful of how you use your power, because whether you realize you have power or not, the power is still there, the power is activated, and the power is being used. You just have to make sure that it's being used for what you want it to be used for. You feel me? Like, don't, it's one thing to not know, but once you know, you gotta make the change, because if you do know and you don't make the change, it's gonna be worse. So, the biggest thing of all is to just be mindful of how you speak over your situations. Be mindful of how you speak over yourself. Be mindful of how you speak of other people. The truth is the truth. If it's if the truth about somebody is some wickedness, like, that is what it is. You can't help that. But gossiping, speaking negative, like hoping bad things happen to somebody, like, don't do that. You just cursing yourself. Alright. That being said, I'm out. It's Aim is limitless. I love y'all. You got my peoples. Y'all beautiful. Y'all sexy. Y'all smart. Y'all intelligent. Y'all capable. Y'all talented. Y'all are special. Y'all are complex creatures. Y'all are abundant, rich in spirit, extraordinary. See what I'm doing? Start speaking that over your own life. Y'all are successful. Y'all are handsome. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all are everything that y'all want to be. Alright? I love y'all. It's King M's Limitless. I love you, son. And I don't call you son because you mine. I call you son because you shine like one. But y'all don't shine more than my real son, though. My real son, one day he gonna dunk on y'all. I'm telling you. But yeah, I love y'all. Be easy. Believe in yourself. Be mindful of the words you speak into the atmosphere. Yeah. Deuces. Deuce. 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 Bye.